Okay, welcome everyone. It is Wednesday, May 27th, 2020. This is the fifth recovery coaching call. Welcome everybody. And so for those of you that are new, let me just explain to you a little bit. We got C. Morton in here joining up. And I cannot pronounce that name. Rory. Okay. Doesn't matter. Okay. So for those of you that are new, I'm going to explain a little bit about what we do on this call. So this is the weekly recovery coaching call. I do most of the coaching, but the idea is that we all can coach. We all have the capacity to coach if we just sharpen certain skill sets. Three in particular are your ability to hold space for someone else. And when we talk about holding space, we're talking about active listening, really paying attention to what someone is saying, but more importantly, allowing them to get out whatever they need to get out. The second skill set is allowing your intuition to guide you. We all have a very strong intuition. And most of the time, when someone is speaking to us, we start to develop either thoughts or ideas that most of the time we interject into the conversation. So allowing your guidance system, your intuition to help you and to guide you. And then number three, which is probably the most important aspect of coaching, is asking important questions, open-ended questions, questions that will allow the other person to expand a little bit about what's going on, to get a little bit more further information about what it is that they're going through. So for this call, we have volunteers. So who would like to volunteer today? Who has something that they're either struggling with or a goal or objective they're trying to accomplish and they find themselves stuck? Who would like to begin? There we go. Chris.
Yes, I don't know where to start. Hold on one second. I'll close it. Okay. I'm struggling right now with both my sons are living in my house, and there's one 19 and one 25. The one 25 is getting ready to leave in a few days. He was just here for a couple of weeks, and then he's moving to North Carolina with his fiance, and just been struggling with that. And my father is getting close to passing away, and that's pretty much what I'm struggling with right now.
Okay. And how are you, in what ways are you struggling?
It was my peace and serenity is gone out the door, and just kind of gotten depressed and my son came with his dog, and his dog is
the community service hours.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, give me 1 sec here. Give me 1 sec.
Don't sign off for now. Stay late.
There we go, Chris. Somehow we had a weird sort of background noise that I could mute. We're good now.
Okay. So
your peace and serenity. Well, there we go. There was a good example.
Yeah, it's pretty much shot, and been struggling to get it back, and it's just been hard to describe, but they're those people back there have been a little disrespectful, and I haven't set my boundaries, and
Okay.
it's tough setting boundaries all the time, and there's so, and so that's what's going on here. It's just been kind of tough, and I don't want to use, but I definitely have been eating my way through this stuff, and I'm putting on the weight, and so anyway, that's what's going on with me.
Okay. All right. First of all, thank you, Chris. This is perfect. So I just want everyone to pay attention real quick to what just happened here. So I'm struggling with my sons, and my dad's passing away, and I'm not quite sure still what's the struggle. So I need to ask another question. How are you struggling? And ultimately what we get to is boundaries. I don't know how to set boundaries. I'm having a tough time setting boundaries and communicating effectively with the people living in my house. And so you're soothing yourself with food.
Yeah.
So we've got this kind of there's a lot of discomfort going on. And when there's no place to run and we start to feel like we're trapped, then we start to turn into that person that we don't like.
Yes.
And if we don't communicate effectively with the other people, if we don't set those boundaries, however difficult they are, this is going to do a tremendous amount of damage to us, mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally. So let's try and understand a little bit further. So we'll go a little bit deeper. So what kind of boundaries, or what are the boundaries that they have been crossing?
They they're destroying the house. They don't respect my wife and I. They they and they got their girlfriends involved. So it's just overwhelming to me. And so what was the question again?
No, you answered it. What boundaries are they crossing? They're not respecting you, your wife, or your home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's abundantly. But you know what's interesting is you explained it. It's very clear to me, and it's somewhere you got lost.
Yeah.
You got caught up in your head. Okay, so when you went somewhere, when you got lost, what were you thinking about?
I was thinking about me being the dick in all this, and I was thinking about how we are. We're people pleasers. It's hard to set the boundaries. We feel bad when we do it, but they're literally over here eating my lunch and causing trouble, and things have calmed down a little bit because one of them's there's only a couple days left. He's been here for 2 weeks, and he didn't tell me that he was moving here. He just kind of did it, and brought his dog along, and his dog is real bad, and my house smells like dog piss, and I work hard not to have a nice house, and so and I just they don't appreciate me being their father,
So who's being the dick?
Yeah. I'm just the alcoholic father, you know.
Okay, guys, I want you to. I want you guys to really kind of take all this in. This is really, we're going deeper. The layers are just peeling off.
Oh,
Look at Jennifer's like, I can so relate. Okay, okay, I can so relate. You can get back home at least more than 3 days. I'm not missing that. So can relate to setting boundaries. My mom lives with us. I actually fearfully had a conversation with my mom, and we have done so much better around one another. So things have gotten better. Okay, so I automatically, now I'm getting triggered. Now I'm listening to Chris and I'm going, oh, we're going a layer deeper. Okay, because I'm the alcoholic father.
oh.
So I'm beating myself up. When did you get sober, Chris?
9 years ago.
You're still beating yourself up. You're still the alcoholic father.
Yeah.
When are you going to start being the dad in recovery?
Yeah. Yeah.
Got to hold a different line, my friend. Got to hold a different line. Okay, I got a million things to say. But first, I want to open up the floor because this is beautiful. Thank you, first of all, Chris, for being vulnerable and open. We are going to help you today. So who wants to go first? We are here to support you. Unmute yourself. Who wants to go? Bring it on, Liz. I see you moving.
Yeah, I can so relate to this. My sister never lived with me, but boundaries are so hard, especially with family. With friends, we're just like, takes a little bit, but we'll just, say goodbye a lot quicker and set those boundaries. But my sister, she lives 5 minutes from me, very sick mentally, and she's an alcoholic, and she goes back and forth, and she always gives us a lot of lip service. 9 brothers and sisters, so there's lots of dynamics, lots of enablers, and I would go back and forth. And I don't even know how long it's been since I finally set boundaries and stuck to them. It hasn't been that long, maybe a week or two. And so much space in my head, like I can't even tell you how much freed space I have now. But I know that setting boundaries can be like baby steps too. For me, like it was, just only talk to her when she was sober, and then it was just this roller coaster, and this is, the logic is this is your house, you're the one that earns everything, you're the one that pays for it. But then the emotional side is so like, just kind of, for me, it always just clouds out that logical side. So I think like a conversation where it's about like, what's happening and how you're feeling about what's happening, not about what you've done in the past or, cause I tend to bring up, like when I talk to my kids about something, I should say, tend to bring up things like, what I've done in the past or shame that I'm feeling, but really it's about here and now. It's not about back then. It's, you're doing the right thing now, and that's what really matters. And you have been, sounds like, for quite a while. And I don't know, just for me, I guess I just see it as maybe using the logic in it and not so much the emotion, which is very hard. And it's practice, but we got to start somewhere. And I know that for me, it's just really, and I'm sure the 2 weeks has felt like 2 years probably. It just, when it starts, it just, and they, and I'm a firm believer that we teach people how to treat us too. And I really just, I totally get what you're going through. And I, because I've had her live with me and then the same thing, I'm beating myself up because of it. And, I'm sure when your son showed up at your doorstep, you're like, well, you're not going to say no, but then here you are. But yeah, I know I can't imagine how difficult it is for 2 of them to be there and then a dog and girlfriends on top of it. So this is pretty big. So I commend you for opening up and being vulnerable.
Thanks, Liz. I love what Hugh says here. They got to go. They get the boot, right? And sometimes less words, more action. Keep things simple. But what I'm getting here is this overwhelming feeling that I am not worthy, I'm not deserving, and I'm still making amends. How does that land?
Yeah. I still, yeah. There's still, and I've done a lot, and I've, you know, conquered a lot in this 9 years of sobriety that I probably never would have before. But I'm just it's just a little emotional right now. It's been eating my lunch. That's and so.
So here's the thing. We all know let's see a show of hands. How many people here, and then Paulie's going to jump in, just a show of hands. How many people here think that Chris should kick his sons out? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we got about 6 people. Let's say he should kick him out. Okay. And then how many people think that he should let him stay? 1, 1.5. Okay. All right. So there's these both sides. Now, what does your wife say?
My wife, that's her babies, and one's home from college. He's at SMU. They're both pretty good kids, but they've really been getting on my nerves lately. The other one is in the process of moving, and he got a pod, and it's not going to be there for 2 weeks, so they decided just to live with me for 2 weeks. And
so mama, those are her little babies.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it's 3 against 1. All right, Paulie, jump in here. What do you got? Hold on. We do this every time. All right. Don't touch anything. Okay. Now it's stuck. You do it.
How you doing, Chris? Can I ask you a few questions? You said, congratulations on 9 years in recovery. That's awesome. How old were your kids when you recovered? When you stopped using?
Well, one of them's never seen me drink or drug or anything. The other one that's gives me the most trouble probably grew up with a father that wasn't emotionally there for him, like I did. So I think he's the youngest one's been around recovery. The oldest one has not had much recovery. The youngest one doesn't drink, and he's a good kid. He's he's studying to be a computer engineer, and the other one, is drinks a little bit, but he's got his master's. He's marrying this girl that's a doctor, and that they don't. My wisdom, my years of wisdom doesn't. They know everything. Believe me, they don't need any wisdom.
Well, you mentioned something, and my heart goes out to you because you also mentioned that your father was ill, right?
Yeah.
But you just mentioned also that your son grew up with a father that possibly wasn't emotionally there for him, like you did.
Yeah.
So what can you share what that looked like, or what you mean by that?
You mean how I grew up?
Well, when you say wasn't emotionally there for you, what can you give me a picture of what that
well, my dad's an alcoholic. My mother's an alcoholic. Paulie, I am the only sober one in a family of many generations of, there are, you know, aunts, uncles, cousins, they're all not, I am the only one in recovery. And so, and I live in New Orleans. So,
well, give yourself a big hand. That's awesome. You're attempting to break the cycle. That
yeah.
is awesome. That is, you know, that's awesome. So when you look at that, because I had a father that was a great man. My father wasn't an alcoholic, but he was a terrible communicator. So there was a lot of conflict with me and my father because we just couldn't communicate. So I made it a point to communicate with my kids. How as your kids were growing up, how was that communication? What did that look like? And what did you learn from that?
Well, you know, I don't regret it, you know, that I went through that, but I was struggling, you know, before the 9 years. I had 2 years clean, and I went back out, and it was a big mess, and the wife and I fought like cats and dogs, and it got messy like everybody here, I'm sure, you know.
Did you ever sit down with your sons and discuss that?
Yeah, they you know, we tried to talk to them about it, and you know, I think you know, my kids think of me as not a complete person or something, you know, because I'm an alcoholic or whatever, but
Right.
you know,
Well, thanks for sharing. What I'm hearing is a lot of resistance when you do talk about communicating, and you start drawing back. You look down, and your body, you start to get the stutter. I'm just want to throw it out there. What would it look like if you went back to them and sat there and say, hey man, let's have a discussion of the past. I'd like to talk about it. Do you think that would be helpful? Do you think that's something you could do? Do you think it's something that would help to, you know, make the situation around your house more palatable?
yeah.
So what would be the first step if you could take one step to do that? Is there one step you could take?
I guess call a family meeting, you know, and
It's a big step. I commend you for that. At a family meeting, that's a big step. But would your wife support you on that?
yeah, I mean, you know, I'm sure she's heard me bitching and moaning about it. So, you know, she would be in there for it, you know.
Well, great. Well, that's an awesome step, man. I commend you on that. I commend you on your 9 years in recovery. I commend you on breaking the cycle of your family, and think of just that you focus on that and really, you know, pat yourself on the back and get some courage, sit up straight, talk to your wife, and then say, hey, let's have a meeting about this, and be confident on what you've done so far over these 9 years, and maybe open up some dialogue with your family. I know for me, like I said, my kids luckily never saw me drink, but they saw their mother drink. And as they got older, I wanted to make sure, because my lack of communications with my father, it was a goal of mine that I was going to have an open line of communications. But I had to put myself out there. I had to take that risk. And sometimes it went well, sometimes it didn't. But in the long term, I'll end with this, is that today we have a fantastic relationship. You know, even though our family split up and different things, we went through our own traumas. Today we have a fantastic verbal communication, and I think it all goes to starting small and just making that effort and taking those risks. So thanks a lot. I appreciate you sharing with us.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Paulie.
Paulie.
Okay, we got Rob.
Thanks so much for getting gutsy. I've got two boys, 25 and 21. They both moved out, but they both have come back. We've walked into the house. The older is respectable. He's got a degree and a good job, but when he was back with us waiting for his apartment to get ready, he just took over the kitchen. He took over the living room. He took over the whole house. So I'm telling you, as you're talking about this, I'm getting the jugular myself. No easy answers because you got mama, and then you got to think, yeah, down the road, I want to have these boys talking to me, and so I've got to keep that together. So having prefaced all that, I learned a tool. I'm sure we've all heard it, but it worked. Not all the time, but it worked. I took the pressure off my wife and I took the pressure off the boys in validating the situation, like by making them agree with me that they were turd buckets or, being like that, by saying, when you walk into the house and take over the kitchen and my wife, your mother, comes home and she's mad, it makes me, it makes me feel very anxious, and it makes me feel very angry at everybody. And your mom and I's relationship goes down the hill.
Yeah.
So it's me, it's my fault because it's my feelings. So you can't invalidate my feelings. I feel angry. That's how I feel. When you do this, I feel angry. And it's changed the dynamic. Now, I'm not telling you that I haven't gotten 30 seconds into this conversation and my face has gone flush, this paint has gone out. Like, what the hell are you guys doing the wacky woo thing in the middle of the afternoon? I got friends coming over. Could you use your mind? You just want to go, right? So I get it. But when I've tried to practice that, when you do this, it makes me feel, it does seem to help. And they didn't instantly respect me, and thank God they both moved back out. So hopefully you'll get that too. But it helped a little bit. That's all I got.
Thanks, Rob.
Rob, that was fantastic. Okay, so now here's what's beautiful about this. We've held some space. We've exchanged some conversations, some ideas, shared some stories. And so a lot of things are going on inside you, Chris. There's a lot going on. Things are processing at the moment. So really, there's no question here. Some people raise their hands, yeah, kick them out. Other ones like, no, don't take them out, right? So there's all that. So we throw all that into the mix. But what's the real issue here? The real issue is I have not been able to set boundaries with my sons. That's the key issue here, okay? So now that we've had this conversation and now that you've had an opportunity to process just a little bit, what would you say is the main reason why you have not been able to set strong boundaries with your boys?
What I picked up from Paulie was communication, is that I'm not communicating, and then put it together with Rob about the validating, making them validate my feelings. They're mine. They can't take them away from me.
Okay. See how, and I can feel you right now, Chris. I can feel you getting emotional. I can feel that, right here in your chest, you're feeling it, right?
I'm a mess right now.
Yeah. Yes. Is your chest burning? Is it on fire? All right. It's good. It's your heart. It means it's working and it's alive, and you're in a safe place. We're here to hold this space for you. We're here to keep you safe. We're to hold your hand and walk you through this. And we're not here to force your hand or do anything that you don't want to do. We're just here to listen and see if from what you're pulling from this, and it's true, what is preventing me from communicating effectively with my son? So first it was, what's preventing me from setting boundaries? Then it's like, well, I'm not communicating effectively with them. I'm not allowing them, or I'm not expressing my feelings so that they can validate these feelings. But there's a reason. There's a reason why I'm not setting boundaries and I'm not communicating with them and I'm not expressing my feelings. What's that reason?
Well, I guess the heart of the matter is that, I'm scared of losing them.
Take a deep breath, bro. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Thank you, brother. Thank you. I'm afraid. I'm afraid. I'm afraid to lose them. Do you think you're going to lose them if you tell them that you're not currently happy, that you're struggling right now, that you're having a tough time with the living situation? You think that you're going to lose them?
Well, that's why everybody walks on eggshells around here, is they're worried about, the oldest one moving away and not talking to us, and not, he's getting married soon and not being given us contact with our grandchildren. And, the youngest one's, he's walking on eggshells because if I say something, he's worried about not seeing his brother. He doesn't want me to run his brother off. And so there's a lot of eggshells going on,
Okay, so here's what I hear. I want to keep my family together.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what sometimes I kind of drop this on people and let them process that. Because sometimes we want something so bad. So bad. I want it so bad. And I will go years walking on eggshells, denying what I truly want for me because of something else. Okay? So I hold on to what I want, and I neglect what I deserve. I hold on to what I want and I neglect what I deserve. I'm 9 years sober. I'm a good man. I'm a good father. I'm a good husband. What do I deserve? Do I deserve respect? Do I deserve love? And I want to keep my family together, and I want to keep my relationship with them so I can see my grandkids. So what am I willing to sacrifice to do that? Am I willing to sacrifice what I deserve to keep what I want? That's it. That's it. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath, man. Take it in. Take it in, brother. Take it in. It's hard, man. This ain't easy, and I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here, right? Because this is not an easy thing. But I didn't get 17 years clean yesterday. You didn't celebrate 9 years clean, right? To be eating shit the rest of our lives. I just don't believe in that. I don't believe in it. And I will always stand up for my brothers when they cannot stand up for themselves. So if I blow through this fear, because I've been afraid before. Chris, you've been afraid before. To walk through this fear, are you willing to risk potentially losing them? Because you ain't going to lose them forever, man. Family's family. Dysfunctional or not. And if you do lose your sons, because you were setting boundaries for yourself, I got to ask you, man, is it worth it to keep that relationship if they don't respect you as their dad?
Wow. That's a tough question.
There's no need to answer it, brother. There's no need to answer that. I just want you to breathe in. I want you to put your hand on your heart right now. Just put your hand on your heart and breathe into that, man, and know that you are loved. Know that you are loved, brother. We are holding this space for you. That's why we are here. So there's no need to make a choice right now. Okay? Just let this marinate, let this process, let your heart and your mind connect. Okay? Spend some time in the morning meditating, journaling, and get to and really spend some time with your wife. Like, spend some time really being open and vulnerable with her, saying, honey, I got to talk to you. I got to talk to you. This is how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
I need you to hold this space for me. I am feeling this way and this way and this way. And I want to do this and this and this and this and this. And see what she says. And see what you might be surprised, my friend. You might be surprised. And we're here next Wednesday. So whatever happens, whether you do something or not, we'll be here for you.
Thank you.
All right. How do you feel?
I feel like I went through something.
Success.
But I feel good, and I really do appreciate y'all. I really do. Thank y'all.
We are here for you, Chris. All right. So just do me a favor. Sit with this for a while. So here's the action items. Little meditation in the morning. Pray. Ask for guidance. Do a little journaling, or a lot. And talk to your wife. Talk to your wife and nothing else. If nothing else, I like the family meeting idea too. But I would talk to your wife first, so you guys can come from a place of unity together. Right? You definitely don't want her blindsided, because she's going to take the boy side. If she's blindsided. So make sure make sure it's Team Morton before you go in, right? And if you get stuck, just come back to us and give us the update. We'll walk you through the rest.
Thank y'all.
Love you, brother. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Who has comments, questions, suggestions, some love to give to Chris? Who wants to jump in, or who wants to go next?
Hi, my name's Donna.
Hi, Donna.
And I'm not sure if the protocol is, do I just say I'm Donna, I'm an alcoholic, or I just say my name?
Donna, you say whatever you feel comfortable with.
My name's Donna, I'm an alcoholic.
Hey, Donna.
Chris, I can really relate to your story. And I had a similar situation. When I was drinking and using drugs, I taught my children that's who I was and how to treat me. When I got clean and sober, my sponsor was real clear to me that I had to earn their trust back. And I spent a lot of time doing that. And as I kind of evolved into the sober, clean and sober mom and walked through that, it was, I got my kids together. Well, they're all in their 30s now, but at the time I got them together, and I had to tell them that, I taught you how to treat me there, and now that's not okay because I'm different. I've changed, and you're disrespecting me. And here's what's going to happen if you continue that. And what's happened down the road is that all of them trust me. I mean, it took a while for them to earn it, but I I had to own my power so that they saw, oh,
Mm.
wow, you know, this isn't the drinking, drugging mom. This is the mom who's clean and sober and working a strong program. And I said, here I am. And there I was, and here we are. And that's why I voted to keep your family together, only on the premise it's a perfect opportunity for you to level up. I can see it. I know it. I feel that from you, and the respect. They're kind of kids are adults are, you know, they listen. They've been through it. Mine lived it. They had a drinking and drugs mom that stopped. So anyway, thank you for your story. I really appreciated it. And I loved all the shares. Thank you.
Well said. Well done, Donna.
Thank you, Donna.
That was awesome.
I'll share.
Bring it on.
Well, I'm Jennifer. I'm an alcoholic.
Hey, Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer. So I agree with everything that Donna just said. I grew up, my father drank all the time. He was an alcoholic. He wasn't a mean alcoholic. He just was never around. And there was no communication. And he didn't have communication. His father was an alcoholic. So he brought to our
Come back. I hate it when that happens. Jen?
Okay, he was never around. And until my dad, can you hear?
It's all
Can
scraggly.
you hear me? Oh.
Oh, bummer.
Can you hear me now?
It's really,
Uh,
if you've got the Wi-Fi, either get closer to the Wi-Fi or kill it.
Are you there?
Oh, now I see you perfect again.
Okay, I'm sorry. Forget what I was saying. So we didn't have respect for my father because of his alcoholism, and he was never around for us. And we carried that into our adulthood. And it wasn't until my dad apologized to us and changed that we respected him. But it wasn't until that. So I don't know if maybe that's what your kids are holding on to, but until my dad actually had a conversation with us and apologized for the way he was, and then we saw the way he was now, and then it was totally different. I don't know if that helps or makes sense, but thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. And, you know, it's a very similar message, Chris. That's a very similar message that Donna has, which is that at some point when we stand up for ourselves, okay, and I love what she said, that own your power. I love that, man. Like, we are not powerless. Own your power and be able to, when you stand up for yourself, that's what you're teaching your boys. Okay, like I had to learn, you know, for most of my life, I was the victim. All these things that happened to me, I used to blame everyone and everything for all these horrible things that happened to me in my life. And the truth is that for me, I wanted to stand up for myself. Okay? I wanted to speak up for myself. And the only way that we learn how to do things in life is to do things in life. Life is going to present you with opportunities to speak up, to stand up, to hold your ground, to own your power. And until you do, it's going to keep presenting itself over and over again until you step into the ring, okay, and you own it. They're going to respect you for that. And even if they say, Dad, screw you, I'm out of here, blah, 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 You know as well as I do, we've all done this, hotheads. We walk out of a room, and then later on we're like, oh, my dad was right. I think I was being a dick. And eventually, things change. But until I own my power and stand up for myself, and I'm just speaking for myself too, just until I was able to do that with my mother, with, other people in my life, friends. And I remember the first few times, man, it's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying to go in and like, oh my God, what are they going to think? What are they going to do? What's going to happen? And when it does not go the way you think it's going to go, most of the time you're like, why didn't I do that sooner? Why didn't I do that sooner? That wasn't so bad. Wasn't so bad. I think you're ready, Chris. I think you're ready, brother. We got you no matter what. We got your back no matter what. All right, good. All right, so who's next? We've got 15 minutes, roughly. 12 minutes, maybe 15. Come on. Let's see. Do we need to check in on anybody? Does anybody have an update?
I have a quick update.
Thank you, Jill.
Yes, thank you, guys. It's day 2, so holding down your our shared.
Are you holding our sober anniversary? Are you keeping that strong? All right.
And what I want to share about it is also I'm glad to see that you're here today, Rob, because last week you said that it's a spiritual thing, like getting to 51% from 50, just like the tipping point. But I was just thinking about that last night because I went for a walk with my dog and it was clean, clear, and sober, and we weren't smoking any joints on our walk last night, and it was wonderful. And I was just thinking about the nudges that we get from our higher power, and what happened yesterday with just the way that it happened. I mean, even if I described it, it would be like, I don't get it. What's so the big deal? But it's that feeling when it is that nudge that for you, that it's your higher power, or God. And that's what that sober birthday, I mean, I thought about it last night. It's so weird. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't have to make sense. Whatever works. But it was like, it's like the day is struck. I don't know. Whatever. The real point is the nudge part. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was thinking back to what Rob said. And I really felt that. I really had just this overwhelming feeling and realization that that's what that was. Because the number of trying to find the perfect dates or trying to find the perfect language around sobriety, it's just fluffy stuff. It's being so worried about the sprinkles on top when like the cupcake is not even baked yet. And so I felt like that was God saying like, okay, if you need it to be a little bit special, like here you go. I'll give you that. And now the rest is up to you. So yeah, I just wanted to share that, and it just feels so good to write day 2 instead of day 1 again. So so yeah. The word sober. Now I'm totally over it. I'm like, all right, thanks everybody for helping me get through that. I don't care what we call any of this stuff. I just want to keep doing it.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. And, for those of you that are not sure what Jill's talking about, is she bought this brand new little planner, her sobriety planner. And every day she's been writing day 1. And then the next day it's like day 1 again, and then day 1. And so yesterday was my 17-year anniversary. And I said, hey, Jill, I would really, really, really like to share my anniversary with you. And so that was my nudge. That was my nudge.
And what had happened internally was, as that was going on, I was looking down, and this is just like the day ones in this notebook. I mean, that doesn't even count the last 10 years of day ones. So, but I was looking at the notebook just like so defeated, going, maybe I'll just, this was the inner conversation, was like, maybe I'll just stick with May 20th, because I can just give myself that, because, you know, even though I drank and smoked yesterday or on the 25th, like, I like those numbers better, and, you know, all this BS stuff. And that was the internal conversation going on. And then I was like, you really cannot start your sobriety lying about day one. So so that's all this is going on. And then that's when Omar shared that it was his 17th sober birthday. And I was just, and then said that. Seriously, I wrote down what you said. I replay it in my head. That's that's God coming through saying, okay, yeah, you need it to be special so badly. Here you go. So anyway, that's that story.
So, you know, since we have a few minutes here, I really want to talk about that word special. Yeah, I think that something has happened in our culture and our society where there's so much pressure to achieve, to overachieve, you know, to do the right thing, to get things done. There's not a lot of emphasis on acknowledgement and celebration. And people talk about walking on eggshells. And people walk on eggshells when it comes to really patting themselves on the back. They're so afraid that if I pat myself on the back, I am going to, you know, get complacent, or, you know, I'm going to rest on my laurels, or something's going to happen. Like, there's this feeling of impending doom the minute I choose to acknowledge that I did something really, really good, that I went from 1 day to 2 days, is huge. And whatever that takes, and whatever nudge is necessary, guys, there's not anybody on this call, I don't care who you are, and I'll call you out every single time, there's no one here that does not like to feel special. Not one person here. Social media would die tomorrow if no one wanted to feel special. It would not exist. Social media is designed to make people feel special. Okay? I have an Instagram page, and I'll get like 30, 40, 50 likes on things sometimes. Today, I posted 17 years and 1 day, a picture of me, 245 likes so far. You think I feel special? You goddamn right I feel special. I mean, everyone on this call, everyone on this planet wants to feel special. Look at Jennifer's got 9 months. You're special, Jennifer. What's an Instagram? I love you, Hugh. Stay off of that thing. This is super important. This is super important. There are 6 basic needs that we all have. One is certainty. One is uncertainty. One is love and connection. The other one is significance, growth and contribution. And significance, most of the time when I start working with people and I ask them, what's your primary needs? They land on certainty and significance. It's what they need, man. They're so desperate to have certainty. That's why we are afraid. Like, if Chris knew that he would be able to sit down with his sons and they would say, Dad, man, God, you're right. I can't believe we've been such dicks. You know, I'm so sorry. He would have had that conversation yesterday. And if he felt significant enough, instead of being the alcoholic dad, he was the recovery dad, 9 years sober. The one person in the family that's made it. Okay? Walking in. I walk in very different. I either walk in with my shoulders shrugged in or my chest out. It makes all the difference in the world. Make no mistake about it. Everybody here wants to feel special. So every chance that you can get, folks, every chance you get, make it a point to try and make somebody feel special. It will keep them coming back. There's no question about it. She got it. I wanted Jill to feel special. I did. I said, you know, share this with me. It worked, right? We spent 40 minutes with Chris. Chris, did you feel special? Yeah, absolutely. That's why we're here, guys. We're here. Yeah. Yeah, right? That's why we're here. Yeah, no, thank you. What's going through your mind now, Chris?
I feel good.
Look at that. It's a different guy.
Yeah. Yes.
That's what we need. We need more opportunities to help other people feel significant, feel special, feel important. They will keep coming back. They will keep showing up. You remove the judgment, the criticism, the harsh words, the dogma. Remove all that. Allow yourself to just be gentle and kind with yourself and with others. And this world would be just a beautiful place. I think this is the perfect place to close. I mean, this feels good. I'm feeling all warm and woo-wooey and special. 2 days is huge. I know that battle. Tracy, how are you doing? No, you're going to have to unmute yourself.
There we go. Right?
Yes.
I'm doing good. Good job, Jill. 2 days is hard. You know, I've got my 3 months from meth, and that was my biggest one. But then I needed to give up wine because I know that I needed to be completely clean and sober. I want to go through the steps. And I never really thought I had a problem with wine, but I want to be clean and sober. You know, I want to do this how I'm supposed to do it. And it was hard, man. That was hard getting 1 day. So now I have 16. So you'll get there. I love that. I thought that was really special that she's sharing your date. I think that's really cool. So congrats.
Well, I'll tell you what I did for starting this 17 year off. I decided that I need to shed some pounds. I need to take the workout seriously again. And I had some friends that were doing intermittent fasting. It's like 18-hour intermittent fasting, right? And I'm like, oh, that's impossible. And I said, well, I'm going to try it. So I started on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Today's Wednesday. I jumped on the scale this morning. I dropped 4 pounds.
Wow.
4 pounds.
What time do you start eating?
I start eating at between 7 and 8 in the morning, and I'm done between 2 and 3.
Oh, so you finish early.
Yeah, because you got that 18-hour space.
Wow.
You know, and I try and eat as much as I can in that time. But here's the trick. You can only eat so much.
Yeah.
Like I try to okay, I got to eat enough through this window. And then once I'm hungry again, the window's over. And I'm like, damn it, I got to wait till the next day. And then today I got on the scale. I was 4 pounds lighter. And I'm like, results. I'm all about instant results. So I'm going to keep this going. But guess what the toughest day was, guys? Day 1. Day 1's always the toughest day. If you can get past day 1, and now it's day 4, and I lost 4 pounds, oh, there's no stopping me now. Okay. I'm like, oh, okay. So maybe I can lose another 10 pounds before this month's over. See, because that's, hey, it's still here. Still works that way. Right. How quick can I get there? Right. But guess what? It's okay. I'm not starving myself. I'm trying this out. It feels really good. It's always just day 1. That's the hardest one.
Awesome.
All right, guys. This has been an incredible call. Everybody give yourself a hand. Thanks for showing up. I love you all, and we'll see you next Wednesday, same time.